The video you just watched was from my trip to Thailand back in January 2019, which leads me to the topic of this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about 4 things that a content creator can do during this quarantine. Now, I definitely don't want to act like I got my shit together because I really don't. I've been having pogos for breakfast and starting my happy hour at noon. I'm losing it. Here are a list of things that I ended up doing, all while being lazy and unmotivated during this quarantine. The first one being going through your old footage to try to find some footage that you haven't used. This footage was actually golden and it was filmed by my talented friend Gab, who's an awesome videographer, and he captured some amazing shots. I'm glad that I went through it because it actually brought back a lot of good memories and it inspired me to create the little 30-second clip that you guys saw at the beginning of the video. So yeah, if you're a content creator, make sure to go through your old footage. You'd be surprised of the amount of things you could find in there. Tip number 2 is to definitely take the time to go through the administrative part of your work that we all don't like to do. This was my first year doing my taxes as a self-employed person, and it was my first time keeping track of all my expenses and trying to keep all my receipts. Because the last thing you're gonna want to do when this whole quarantine is over is to deal with your taxes. So make sure you get your taxes out of the way so that when we're allowed to hug each other, you don't have to think about that. My third piece of advice would be to go through your list of clients and to offer them a generous end-of-the-world discount. So I went through my list of clients and I offered them a generous discount where I slashed 20 to 25% off my editing services, and this ended up working and giving me some work. So I highly recommend that if you have a list of clients and you can still work remotely for them, to offer them some sort of discount on your services. You'd be surprised of the amount of people that'd be willing to give you some work. So make sure to do that. Everybody's at home consuming content more than ever. So my fourth piece of advice would be to create content as much as you can. Put yourself out there. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about how Jiu-Jitsu revealed my laziness, and I posted it on LinkedIn against the advice of some family members, and it actually ended up giving me some work for a span of 6 weeks. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable. You'd be surprised somebody might notice you and offer you some work, and it could lead to opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't put yourself out there. So definitely don't hold back on putting yourself out there. My 5th piece of advice would be to don't try to shave your beard and cut and do your own fade, because you will end up looking like this. So yeah. All right, lastly, guys, I'm gonna leave some bloopers from my Thailand trip. I wrote this little script about a washed up filmmaker who gave up on his dream and became a drunk in Thailand. And I actually managed to convince my buddy David and Gab to help me shoot this little script. We ended up never finalizing the project. Well, I ended up never finalizing the project because it was pretty trash. But we got some funny bloopers out of it, so I'm gonna leave that as the outro. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. It will encourage me to continue creating content on a regular basis. So thank you so much, and always remember to believe in yourself. Peace.
Listen, Sam, there's millions of people out there giving up on their dreams. You're not gonna be one of them. You need to talk to us. What happened?
Use preferment. Dave. Oh, my God.
Oh, Canada, Montreal. My Buddha give me this one. And little boy only give me this one. No fair. No fair, my Buddha, no fair.
Very nice.
Welcome to Thailand!